Alright, guys, we are back. Okay, so today we are on an HCSSF League Start practice here. And we're on a mercenary, haven't ascended yet, but we've been messing around with Crossbow and Spears, knowing that weapon swap is going to get a whole lot better. And we got some news that Witch Hunter is now getting 100 plus 100 additional weapon set passive points. So yeah, my brain has been kind of fried ever since hearing that. Kind of hard. I've already messed around in weapon swap quite a bit in the last league, and we're already using it right now, honestly, since we're in crossbows and spears. So, yeah. I haven't been able to really come off the idea of, oh, wow, this could get broken. So I've been doing a little bit of theory crafting. Just, basically some loose ideas that I'm trying to put in on paper, aka POB. So I'm going to pull that up and guess I'll share my thoughts on a potential build. Not fully fleshed out, but an idea. So let's check it out. There we go. All right, so we're in POB. Essentially, I carried over some gear from my HCSSF run on the warrior that we were on a little bit ago. That warrior was like just getting into T15 basic maps, not really juicing much, and hadn't gotten into pinnacle content. Even T15 bosses were still a little bit difficult. So that's kind of where we were at with the gear situation. So those are the items. We've got weapon set 1 with the crossbow, and then weapon set 2 with the spear and the shield. Then we've got a crossbow passive tree. I just brought in one of the rare jewels from my trade main, basically getting that 14% increased magnitude of bleeding. So you can tell we're going into a bleed build here. And then spear. Now the thing about jewels for weapon set swap is you cannot swap your jewels out. You have to equip jewels that go across the 2 weapon sets. So that'll be in what I'm calling, I guess what POB calls the default build. So the default is just no weapon set, regular points. So for skills, I threw in armor piercing rounds, voltaic grenade, rake, war banner. This one's really a question mark right now. I don't know if this is actually going to be doable on this sort of build based on the changes with glory. Thinking about it's just a matter of getting stuns out on the boss, which I haven't really brought into the build in POB yet. Something I'd have to really wrap my head around. Wind Dancer, Herald of Thunder. Okay. So let's go to the tree. So this is the default tree. It's essentially equivalent to being level 56 with 71 points. We come down and we do pick up some physical damage and armor break here. Then go straight down the middle, take a right, going over towards this area for the evasion, dexterity, some crit. And on the default, really, we're just, we're picking up all of the jewels that we will use in the build, which would have 4. And we're picking up nodes that would carry across both weapon swaps. So get Giant Slayer, some crit with Tainted Strike. We get some skill speed, movement speed with acceleration. Pop down here, Maiming Strike, Cooked. Escape velocity for more evasion and movement speed. Get some more crit over here with heart stopping, stuck through, and heart breaking. Then we pick up enhanced reflexes and some dexterity. Might not be really necessary with the new changes to attributes, but just to be safe, I'm going to put them in the build. Okay, so that's the default. Let's go to items and let's swap out to the crossbow and go to the crossbow. And for skills, we'll make armor piercing the active and full DPS. So the idea here is, okay, so the default you can see is still in the build here, but with our passives now, with this setup, we're using around 51 passive set points, so we're not going up to 100. I'd be very interested to see some builds that actually go up to 100. That'd be pretty insane. But 50, that's about double what you'd normally get. So on the crossbow, we pick up our overwhelm wheel. Come down here, advanced munitions with some projectile damage. Crossbow wheel. But the main thing is we're picking up some shock. So we're trying to increase our shock magnitude on this tree. And the whole idea behind the crossbow for this build would be to break armor and shock and bring in a higher magnitude of shock. So, and I guess a third thing, since we are, why does this keep switching over? Witch Hunter, not Tactician. So we've got our 100 points here. This says 20 now. Nothing else has changed. I'm thinking concentration. So with our crossbow, we're opening up, we're shocking, increased magnitude, we're breaking armor, and we're doing some damage, so we're getting concentration, which gives us even more damage to enemies. So that's like 3 separate buffs to our damage that we're opening with, and we're kind of assuming we're on a boss, like a unique. And with those 3 buffs, once everything's online, we've got the shock out, the armor's broken, we've got some concentration. We're then swapping to our rake for the bleed. So for the crossbow, again, it's we got Herald of Thunder, get more damage with lightning. We get our magnitude of shock here, frazzled, rattled. And out of the dexterity wheel, we pop over, and mainly we're trying to pick up more magnitude of shock, which we get with Unbound. Wheel here, General Electric, Harmonic Generator. Fabius, what is up? Welcome back. So that is tree number 1. Now if we go to items, swap over to the spear, go to the next weapon set, and we activate Rake. Turn off this. So now the tree swaps over, and by the way, you don't have to do anything other than use your ability, right? If the moment I rake, my character swaps to the spear, the passive tree swaps over, everything swaps, seamless. And no delay is what I understand with 03. So we do pick up Lay Siege, we pick up Bloodletting, and then we pop down again. We have to essentially follow the same path as the default. But instead of going into Crossbow, we're going into Bleed. So we get Deterioration, we pick up more Shield Block, we get Perfectly Placed Knife, Wasting, Fast Acting Toxins, the Spear Wheel, more block chance. And then that is pretty much it. Like, we don't travel all the way over here for this stuff. We keep it kind of local to the Huntress, and we pick up the stuff that's going to increase our magnitude to bleed. And with this loadout, with this build, we're already reaching 1 million bleed damage per bleed, which is pretty good. It's not like game breaking. One issue we're seeing is our low crit chance. But these are things that I would like be working on with the new supports and everything else that's hitting the game, and then updating this build as I go through the actual motions live in the update. But just theory crafting, I mean, this is pretty healthy given the fact that I brought in solo self-found items from a character that hasn't even gotten into Citadel content yet. So, and this is enough bleed to get you into Pinnacle content and beyond. So not bad. The crit chance is something I'm really looking at here. And the other thing I'm really looking at, though, is War Banner and whether this would be something that we could bring into this build, given that we won't be gaining glory passively, whereas the Tactician can gain glory passively in the update, 5 glory per second. That's something that's going to hurt if we can't use War Banner. War Banner does bring a lot of added DPS to this. If we turn it off, we go down to 700, so it's like 25% of our bleed goes away if we don't have the War Banner. And on a Pinnacle boss, trying to stun the boss and not getting passive glory, that's probably pretty... I don't know, chances are high that we're not going to have a War Banner on late Pinnacle content, at least, so more to come there, trying to figure that out, whether or not that can actually be part of the build. But yeah, overall, I think as far as like a quick theory craft for the Witch Hunter, I'm kind of interested in trying this out, actually. Radiant, what's up? Filterblade just put out a video about some new one-click leveling filter feature. Interesting. We'll have to check this out. Radiant Crush, this is what I've been waiting for. Nice. I think we talked... Yeah, I can't remember exactly what you were thinking about for League start, but was it actually the Witch Hunter? I think you might have been the one. Someone in chat said Witch Hunter. So there you go. We'll probably go over this again a little later as more viewers pop in if people start asking, because I can't just sit here and go over this constantly, but I think I'll go over it again towards the end of stream or so. Good evening, Dismissive. Welcome back. But overall, I am very tempted to go all in on Witch Hunter for the League start. Based on what I'm seeing, it'd be really fun to cook something up with that sort of leeway on weapon set passive points. One thing about the Witch Hunter, though, I was kind of struggling with what to do with the rest of the points. Having to go over here with the 2, I felt like concentration would be best because the whole point for this build is to get your buffs with your crossbow. So that's the increased magnitude of shock, the armor break, and then in this case, concentration, all adding up to more bleed damage once you go in for your rake. So I felt like that was pretty much necessary, but what that means, if I get rid of these 2, you only have 2 points left. And I really wanted to go all the way up here for this defensive with, what's it called? Sorcery Ward. It looks interesting, but I don't think I'd want to do Sorcery Ward if I couldn't go up to the final Ascendancy point here. And then on this side, same thing. Low damage Calling Strike, and then the last point is Decimating Strike, where you open up with like between 5 or 10% and 30% of just life loss off the bat. These 2 seem kind of cool to get into, but again, I just don't feel like they're very good if you can only get into 2 of the points. So I ended up throwing the last 2 points into Zealous Inquisition in this case for some chance to explode things. So let's catch up with chat real quick. Oh, nice. Bobby has pinged the link on Discord if I want to watch it on stream. Yeah, sure. We could probably check that out. I was saying the one Witch Hunter Ascendancy node might be good for the new league due to the fact that there's a bunch of demons and undead. That is true. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. So maybe that's not a bad choice here, Zealous Inquisition. So they fixed a bug where the multipliers to stun buildup for physical damage and melee damage were additive with stun buildup multipliers instead of multiplicative. Wow. Damn. So we should be seeing a lot of stun. Yeah, stunning sucked. Now it works. That'll be interesting. So yeah, I more to come on the Theorycraft here. I didn't with this, quick build. I actually just kind of worked on this for about an hour before stream. It was kind of in my head in the last 2 days, but finally got it into POB. One thing that I was really thinking about was, man, how do I work in stun on top of all of this? I haven't been able to get there yet, but now it looks like it might be really worth it to work in the stun. All right, so let's see. How long is this video, Bobius? Let's see. Oh, so one click, create your leveling filter. Okay, let's see what's up. 2 minutes, 54 seconds. All right, let's see what's up. Okay, 1 sec. I gotta set this up to share. Let's mute PoE2. Desktop audio. Audio might be a little quiet at first as I bring it up for everybody. Don't want to blow out ears or anything. Yeah.
Hey guys, I want to give you an update for an upcoming PoE2 filter blade feature for the upcoming 0.3 PoE2 league. This is something I'm very excited about, and it's a great way to quickly customize your filter. The filter blade offers a lot of options to customize filters to exactly what you want, but sometimes it's a bit much. Now, just if you want to customize your filter to a very specific build, let's say you're playing a classical mercenary crossbow and some evasion armor types, you can now go to auto adjust for build and select your class. Now, if we're going to select a monk, you expect to see quarterstaffs, right? And you see exactly that, evasion and energy shield bases. A witch will use Vaughn, Scepters, Foci, and energy shield centric bases. A huntress will use spears and bucklers, right?
That's pretty
and
cool.
You can go for, of course, for a mercenary with crossbows, evasion, and armor items. Now, of course, you can adjust all of that to whatever you prefer to use. Now, I'm going to just go for the classical crossbow combination and click apply. Now, everything is pre-customized. Now, note this only affects the leveling part. Endgame will need a different algorithm because there's economy implications, and I'm going to take a look and build that for the next PoE2 league. For now, it's the only leveling. So let's take a look. If you go to simulate, we see crossbows. Oh, it's actually a superior crossbow, so it would be shown anyway. We see a rare crossbow. We see a Valkyries because it fits our armor types. And we of course see currencies, jewelry, so all of the other important things are still shown. Now this is a level 40 zone. At this point it will also hide rares for like spears and bows, item types you don't use. In lower zones, in Act 1, Act 2, you will still see rares, and in Act 1 you will still see magic items for vendoring and disenchanting. Of course in a lower highlight than the rares you care for. And that's pretty much it. Now the update also comes with a ton of other new features. We have global style themes. These are still in the works, so I'm not quite ready to show them off. We have over quality filtering for chancing bases, uniques for normal bases. We have identified mod filtering, tiering improvements, a lot of good stuff. And I also have like still hundreds of items to implement because GG has dropped a humongous patch in terms of items. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it
Huge.
short. Use the feature, it's great for starting a new league. So overview, auto adjust for build. This is gonna be live on Friday. I'm gonna stream the final part of the further development process as usual on Twitch on Friday. I need all the time I can get here because, well, over 300 new items. Anyway, that's it. Thank you. I hope you have a great 0.3 league. Not sure what I'm gonna play.
All right. Cool, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I highly recommend Filter Blade. I use Filter Blade. It's awesome what the community can do with games like this, and it's really cool to see someone like Filter Blade coming in. And the other thing is they update prior to the patch. Like last patch, Dawn of the Hunt, I was able to upload or update my Filter Blade right off the bat. like hours before I got into the actual Dawn of the Hunt league start. So kudos to them. Highly recommended. All right. So Dismissive thinks he'll do at least Act 1 without filter, then check what people are saying about Filter Blade, because there could be issues with all the new item bases. Yeah, that's true. I was kind of thinking about the filter, like you really do have to trust that they nailed it, because if you end up filtering based on your class and they didn't nail it, you could be missing things, right? But overall, I mean, I've used them a lot, and it really worked well again for me, Dawn of the Hunt, right off the bat. So, all right, guys, we'll probably go over that Witch Hunter Theorycraft again a little later, but for now, I think we're going to get back to leveling. Okay, let me turn up the... That's what's the audio here. Just let me know if audio is weird. Should be good though. All right. Gotta get situated. Where was I? I was going to Keth. Yeah, we have the waypoint. You know, another option, there's so many different options with Witch Hunter, but another one that was kind of floating around in my head was using two-handed mace to swap out of totems and maybe mortars, you know, and just laying that down as added support, added damage, whatever you need. So you open up with that, and I mean, that seems like a really wide open option that would support a lot of different builds out there. I mean, it could be a spear build, could be your crossbow. But yeah, more totems and mortars seems pretty strong. Those are getting updated. Overall, seems like a really strong update for totems. But then it's that tactician that would be calling me. Like if I were to really want to go into totems, mortars, the tactician has some things that were added or being added with 03 that look really good with that. So it'd be kind of hard to justify the Witch Hunter in that way. I don't know. That's just the way I'm thinking about it. Let's see. Do I want to hit this? No, I don't. Go to Kath. I need a fire charm. Like I have one. What do I have for... So 19 fire resistance. Can we do something about that? I think so. Yes. A little bit. Okay. I think that's about all we can do. Yeah. Let's hit this. Oh, so we already have our 3... Oh, no, we have 2. Okay, good. See what happens. Strength. Mana. Cold damage. Not bad. Would have been great to get flat physical. Alright. So, Lost City. Makes sense for hardcore. Totems. Are you talking about totems? Because that could be very strong. I like a build where you can kind of lay things down and run in hardcore. And they get aggro. It's really nice. Okay, I gotta remember how to play this character. I'm doing things that are on my main. Like, I tried to Lightning Spear, honestly. Just going for HCSSF, yeah. Yeah, again, I'm just gonna do it. Well, I get one life to live in HCSSF, and then I'll move on to trade for a while. And by the way, it would be kind of hard to, unless you're just an absolute HCSSF main, like that's all you do. This is the League of Trade. Big updates. Didn't even think of that. Yeah, I mean, this is a long time coming too. Like, if you're a PoE 1 player as well, like this sort of trade update is huge. And honestly, it's interesting because this is likely going to hit PoE 1 next league, right? God damn, that dude was annoying. Beat my ass a little bit. Yeah, I'm enjoying the hardcore later mentality that I adopted last league. Because it allowed me to extend the league a lot longer, probably. It was interesting to switch over to HCSSF. It brought spice to my PoE 2 life, you know? 2 months into the league. One thing I don't have built into that Witch Hunter build at all is high velocity rounds with armor piercing. It's changing and it looks good, but it's kind of TBD and I can't really simulate that. So I'm kind of ignoring it, but I will be trying that out, testing it out, because if I can somehow get a good shock armor break without pulling out something like Voltaic Grenade and also chunk some damage, maybe even if I can bleed and maybe even poison with that, like it might get to the point where Witch Hunter isn't really where I go into Tactician or something. But anyways, the swap to Spear, it would be very nice if high velocity rounds chunks enough to impale in a meaningful way. So then all of that we just discussed, let's say we're the Witch Hunter. We get concentration, broken armor, 50% magnitude on our shock, and a healthy impale. And maybe a war banner? Like, that's probably stretching it, but I would love to get impale in the mix so that when we go in for the rake, we're extracting that and just really benefiting from the opener with high velocity round, armor piercing round. So there's a Mobalytics build out there that uses Witch Hunter with bleed and armor break. Interesting. I might have to search that up actually. I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel, but one thing about that build is it likely, if it was in trade, it likely used Deepest Tower, Spiritborn, Crown, and got into the low life nodes as well for an extra 70% damage in the Ascension based on low life. So that's nerfed to the ground, basically. The low life stuff in Witch Hunter is not nearly as good as it was in Dawn of the Hunt because of that. I'm chilled. Where do I go? Alright, so what are we doing? We've already used our 6 weapons set points. Kind of interested in... we're about to ascend. I could go Witch Hunter. Does anybody know, like, as soon as you go Witch Hunter, do your points just swap over to weapon sets immediately? I imagine that's how it works. I think I need dexterity. I think I have a gem to use, actually. No, it's not on me. But yeah, here on this guy, we are using the swap. I haven't been using it as much, though, because Spear is really taken off as our main. It's doing way more work. These guys are dangerous, man. Whoa. Yeah, not a good idea to run through the spear field, I guess. So what do you guys think? Witch Hunter, 100 points. Have you been seeing anything out there that looks interesting, or have you been cooking up something yourself? Curious about this Witch Hunter, man. I feel like there's gonna be some shit that comes out that just breaks the game somehow. I feel like it was a rushed decision. It didn't come out with their first iteration on updates, and it may be one of those situations where they're like, man, we didn't do anything with Witch Hunter. What do we do? And they just throw it in there, and they're like, we'll see. Probably all right. This probably won't break. Matter of fact, we need to ascend after this boss, probably, huh? Wow, chaos resistance. Good to know. Wind skills on a Warbringer. With armor break? Wind skills. What's the interaction there? But yeah, with the high velocity rounds and the armor break, armor piercing rounds, I was actually kind of thinking Warbringer Crossbow and going all in on armor break. Yeah, fully armor break. Then, of course, you got the totems with Warbringer. Warbringer looks very interesting to me, actually. Like, it's... out of all the start classes, for me, it's Tactician, Witch Hunter, and then Warbringer was up there, too. That's something, actually, since we're kind of talking about different classes, I'm going to bring this up. Might get flamed. 1 second here. I'm gonna have to go to the. Okay, so the. Go here. Okay. One sec. So, Ascendancy tier list according to Junggrown, Rutu, Fubgun. Dang it, it's kind of small. There we go. That should work. I'm gonna share this. Share left. Now, having come from World of Warcraft and stuff, like I appreciate tier lists. They're fun to me. They're in like all the games I used to play. But the very early on, it seems like tier lists are basically shunned in the PoE community. But here you go. Here's a little tier list that was put out earlier. Of course, we have no context, no video, so we don't really know what they were thinking. But overall, based on the comments that I read in this Reddit post, it was a league start, not scaled at endgame. So this is a tier list for leveling through the campaign at league start based on what they know. And some of the areas, I guess there was some areas where they were conservative, where they didn't really have information. But Deadeye has been talked about a shit ton as being S tier. It seems extremely popular. Even you'll see down here in C tier, they've got the monk essentially. From what I'm reading, people are saying that anything that you can do or want to do on the monk, or the typical monk things that you do, can be done better on a Deadeye based on the Theorycraft today, as kind of the idea there. And then Witch just like is powerhousing in A tier right now. And then Witch Hunter probably shot up from D tier to, well, I don't know where it was. But overall, Crossbow got buffed a lot. There's a lot of things about Witch Hunter if you're using crossbows and being a mercenary main that got buffed. So Witch Hunter plus the 100 Ascendancy points are bringing up to A tier now. I don't know about weapon swap in campaign and passive tree swap in campaign. I guess it's pretty strong, but I don't think it's like game breaking until end game, in my own opinion. But I just feel like it might be a bit too much to ask for a campaign character when you're starved for resources, starved for gear. Now you're doubling your requirements. So I don't think you're going to actually be able to take advantage of Witch Hunter in the campaign. That's my thought. I don't know too much about the Witch, but yeah, it did look like there was quite some buffs to the Witch across the board. And then they've got, I guess, Warbringer at B tier. I'll bring that up since I've been looking at Warbringer. Totem's got major buffs. Warbringer has a lot of changes to it. Warbringer, I think any class that's down by where you can pick up deflection easily is probably getting a bump. Warbringer, you can move over to the right side of the tree. There's a lot of totem stuff that crosses over into the mercenary area. So you could really dive into the evasion, deflection, shield, jade, and then have totems. Like I see this being extremely tanky and defensive. As far as like a HCSSF, if totems are slapping, this dude's going to be an absolute beast. What else? I'm only going to talk about what I kind of am following, I guess. And I find it interesting that they've got the monk down in C tier based on everything. I don't know about that. I think that this is going to be stronger than C tier, but we'll see. Then they got Gemling and Ritualist, and mainly I think it's D tier because these are things that scale in the end game. Like Ritualist, you can't... I know Ritualist. I don't know a whole shit ton about Gemling, but Ritualist only really scales when you start to pick up those really juicy rings and jewelry. And then Gemling, of course, same thing with stat stacking. Doesn't really take off till later. Yeah, Warbringer has armor break as well. So yeah, Warbringer's high up on the list. Game day decision for me. I'm still undecided on what I'm actually going to play. Leaning heavily Tactician. Witch Hunter, very close second. Even doing some Theorycraft. So might go Witch Hunter, but Warbringer is very close. It looks really strong. I don't know, man. The thing about Warbringer, all right, so I'm familiar with Spear and Crossbow. It feels like more well-known. versus totems. How much of a buff is it? Like, are totems actually gonna be good? I feel like that's a question mark. It's a little scary, I guess. But anyways, thought I'd share that. I enjoy tier lists because it sparks up conversation for the only real reason. Like, I don't know, this thing could be completely randomized. It'd still spark up conversation. I was using Warbringer with the crossbow. Yeah, Radiant, if you were already doing that, I don't know, man. Crossbow, you can use totems. Wait, now with weapon swap, you can start with totems and then scale into mortars or something, right? I guess you could always do that, but weapon swap is getting a lot stronger, so it's like overall I will be using weapon swap. I know that for sure. In some way or fashion. Either quite heavily on the Witch Hunter or as a way to just bring some flair or some utility, I guess. Alright, where do I need to go here? Probably over here. Do that. Shit. Wasn't paying attention. I don't know if any of you have died in here to these little guys. I have once. I'm scared. Where'd he go?
Easy.
Stacking skill speed so that I was using the armor break skill like it was a machine gun. Yeah. Yeah. I like that idea. Kind of... I mean, that's the only thing I got on my crossbow right now. It feels good. It breaks armor. If this plus high velocity turns into a really powerhouse combo based on... I mean, so in the reveal, you guys saw that, right? High velocity round is now going to do an impale effect, but it was chunking the boss. So I gotta see what that does. Dez thinking out armor pierce with velocity. Hell yeah. Seriously, I am gonna try it out. I hope it's strong. If it is strong, it's gonna be a game day decision again on whether to just go all in. One thing about that with weapon swap is if I can get a healthy impale on that and set up a big rake, I think that's a good weapon swap idea. Break the armor, get some shock out, impale, and then go in and bleed. Big bleed. I'm kind of sad about... I don't like the changes to War Banner, honestly. I'm sad about that. But we just saw that they are fixing something that was wrong with stun build-up. It wasn't multiplicative when it should have been. So maybe it becomes trivial if you are really going in for stun to get the glory. Maybe it's not as big an issue as I think it'll be. I don't feel like doing that. Add in lightning damage as well for 20%. Try like with the weapon swap and the set points. If you are really going all in on weapon swap, that means you can afford to increase your magnitude of shock, maybe even your armor break, so that that opener is truly just setting you up. So in the build that I was theory crafting in POB earlier, we got up to 50% shock along with the broken armor, and since we were on the Witch Hunter, some concentration. But I didn't bring in Impale because I don't really know if that's going to be a thing. If I can do all of those things. The more you add, the more complicated it gets, the more skill gems you're using. Yeah, I should be breaking this dude's armor, opening up like that. That's kind of how it'd work. Right now, leveling and the state of the game right now, I'm only really using the armor break on bosses. Of course, with Spear, if it's just armor break that you're bringing, it's not really worth the swap because you have Bloodhound's Mark, and Bloodhound's Mark is an easy way to break armor, like really easy. So it has to be more than break armor. Being able to use the same skill gems for all is such a game changer. Yeah, that's something you can't really calculate. If to me, I feel like the baseline damage for everything is rising in this next patch because of that. I guess the baseline of everything, like whatever your main skill was or would be, I guess would kind of be the same, but everything else, the damage should be increasing, right? Like the assumption is you would have already been using the best of the best for your main skill. So it's the rest of the skills that are going to get the benefit. We are comboing off a little bit. Like it's kind of fun playing an involved build where you're using multiple things and different weapons and stuff. And another thing, like I'm a lot smoother at swapping between stuff like this versus if I was just crossbow and swapping a bunch of ammo types. For some reason that fries my brain. I don't know what the deal is. I'm just not used to it, I guess.
Me pockets are full.
All right. This is a big map. Probably this way. Our boss damage, I don't know. The last boss was the... I gotta update my skill gem now, for sure. And God, I could use... Oh, I do have a couple jewels that I picked up recently. Identify these. Literally just pick some up. Ooh. Okay. Do that. Oops. Then we'll just throw this in as well. I think those are the only 2 jewels I have, so. And level 7 we should be able to do now on Rake. Oh, I already did it on Rake. Let's do Spearfield. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I'm not big into Blood Hunt until later. And plus, I'm ignoring that it exists because it got nerfed. Who knows? I think anything more than 4 buttons is probably a bit much if you're playing many hours at once. Yeah. I mean, I'm going from Lightning Spear, so I'm used to 1 button for almost all my wave clear.
It's getting stronger. Don't give it a chance to recover.
Great. Adele went over here.
You're wearing it down. Don't let up. Spirit's will be done. All in a day's work.
Where are we going? This doesn't look like... Well, maybe. This is it.
Look at all this religion. Didn't help him.
I love the mercenary. He's such a badass. We got a new Act 4, so play a class where you like the voice lines, because there's going to be new voice lines. And I guess story-driven interludes, I think they're calling them, right? Tell the story, maybe your class. I wonder how different the interludes are based on which class you're playing. Come on. Hey, Radiant! Thank you so much for the Prime and Twitch. That is very appreciated. I really do appreciate you. Glad to see you and hang out with you. And I'm super excited for League Start. So you'll have to keep me in touch, or keep in touch and let me know what you end up doing for your League Start. I'll be very interested to hear all the different builds and everything, and what's working, what's not working. Researchers, we need to do that. Rarity, nice. Yeah, I'm seeing some new faces in chat. If you're enjoying, just please like, and if you're in YouTube, think about subscribing if you enjoy the content. But liking this in YouTube does help the algorithm, helps me get more reach out there, so just a like. So, are you gonna start spear tact? I'm definitely gonna. All right, so man, so hard to choose, but spear is definitely what I'm leaning into because I want to have a shield. I'm gonna be doing HCSSF. And I think the shield charge and stomping ground is still going to be decent. And I definitely want to try it out. But I'm going to be doing a little bit of weapon swap to try out the high velocity rounds with armor piercing rounds to see if that's a thing. And then from there, I'm going to decide at Ascension time whether I do tactician and lean really heavily into spear, or if a big weapon swap thing is calling to me based on what I'm seeing with high velocity rounds. And then in that case, we're going Witch Hunter, probably. All of that said, damn, the Warbringer looks so good. I'm telling you, man, I have such a hard time picking classes and stuff for games. It's like I'm stressing. Came from the degenerate play of int dex stacking, Gemling Legionnaire in point 1 and also Lightning Spear for point 2. After none of my personal builds could scale. Yeah. Dawn of the Hunt was pretty rough. So I feel like Dawn of the Hunt, you either quit the game after 2 weeks or you respect to Lightning Spear. But I don't want to really do this. Yeah, I don't really want to do this. Did I? I'm just gonna run.
Blimey.
I should have done my... I have shield charge. Witch Hunter for the win. I think somebody is gonna break it. It's just a matter of who and how. And maybe there's multiple ways. I mean, it might be something that Witch Hunter can just break the game in multiple different ways. We're not finding one for ages. Back in the day, I've dropped 2 of the Pulsar Kiln Rings today. Yeah. In .1, I could not drop one to save my life. Chanced like every single Sapphire ring I could find. And then lately, I have been picking them up a lot more. Power Weasel, I'm leaning towards Witch Hunter with 1 weapon set as a Storm Blast bolts, and the other with explosive grenade mortars to explode the stuck bolts. Interesting. So with Witch Hunter on 1 set, I mean, you're just kind of the low life, decimate, and concentration, or is it the spell ward? Like, what is it about Witch Hunter that really excites you, I guess? Spell ward seems like it could be pretty cool for a deflection, armor, evasion class with a shield. Of course, you get, it's weird. You get 15% added, then it takes 35% armor and evasion away, then it adds another 15% afterwards. It's like, dude, why? $100 weapon set passives. Oh, but 1 weapon set. I'm a little confused. So 1 weapon set. Are you saying you're just gonna use 1 weapon for both sets? Like, you can do that now, right? I think that's maybe what you're saying. Ah, okay, into totems with 1 set and full investment into self-use skills with the other. But I guess okay. Interesting. Yeah, the totems is another idea. I think that's a really good idea. It's enticing for sure. Because totems, 1, they're getting super buffed, but 2, as if you're swapping like that, it feels like a really good way to support many different builds. Like, throw down your totems. You're like a shaman. I'm going back to World of Warcraft again. Throw down your totems for some support. Get your buffs up. They're even slapping a little bit. So for some sustained damage, and then you go and you just blow everything up. The Ascendancy gives more points. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. It's just that when I read that Power was going with 1 weapon set, I was just kind of assuming he wasn't going into Weapon Master for the 100. I guess wrong assumption. Your totem snapshot, though. Yeah, that's that is the question I had earlier today. I read in Reddit that I think, and that's a good question. I don't know. It's something we should really understand, though, for sure. Because it won't work if it goes away once you swap your weapon. obviously. That would suck, man. I'm kind of tempted to try it out. Let's go try it out live in a minute. See what happens. Just misinterpreted what was being said, yeah. Tested using one totem on one set and didn't have it on the other set. It kept the additional totem out. Banner snapshot. Oh, wow, that's... Really? All right, I have banner. Let's try it out. I've got my crossbow out. Lay down the banner. It's still here. I don't know if I did that correctly, but I went from crossbow. The thing about totems is it is tied to mace, right? Like if you lay down an actual mace totem, it requires a mace in the tooltip. I think that's the difference and could be the game breaker. We're gonna test it out here in a sec. Get to the boss at least. Is this still floor 1? God damn. This place is huge. Oh, this is floor 2. Okay, we're almost there. See how our damage is. At least this guy moves around, so Spearfield's gonna do some work here.
He holds a new loyalty now.
Oh, so snapshot means that it is usable. Okay, I was thinking snapshot meant that it goes away. Oh, what? My armor break went away. Shit! Bad timing. Ah. Oh god. I almost got caught there. Yes, keep walking. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Never heard of a god in such a state.
Snapshot means it records what you were wearing when you cast it. Okay, snapshot. So that's kind of what they're saying. I was thinking more like a rubber band or something. Like a snap back or something. I don't know.
I'll do as you ask, my lady. I'll bring you fire.
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, I think we can test out the totem theory here. I've got a mace. We can get a totem. Let's see what happens. I've never tried it. How big is this? There we go.
Take care not to spill this.
There's just so many changes to Crossbow. It isn't even a comparison between 2.2 and 3. Yeah, it's daunting trying to Theorycraft and think of the leak start, but it's all part of the fun. I'm having a good time with it. Last time I really didn't Theorycraft as much. I just said, new class, new weapon, done deal. This time around, I was kind of thinking, yeah, if there's a new class, I'll do it. And then there wasn't. And then it's like, oh shit. I actually have to think. Okay.
goddess of... I will tell you.
All right, what are we doing here? Let's store this. It's like we got an upgrade on Flask. Did I? Maybe I had 2 upgrades. I was late. That's not good. Oh shit. What do we have here? No. Okay. All right.
Young one.
Oh. All right, let's check this out. Totems. Where do I want to do this? I'm going to go somewhere easy so I don't die trying to do something weird. Can I wear this? Yeah, I can. And then a gem. Let's just use something. Let's use a level 3. Oh, wait. Is it a level? I think it is a T3 gem, right? Let's see. Where are you? Mace. Yeah, T3. Okay. We will take out the crossbow. Now can I do it? There we go. So that's 1. There you go. Let's just verify something that I said earlier. Oh, wow. Okay. No. Totem, Shockwave Totem at least does not require a mace. It's any martial weapon. I did not know that. Let me see something else. Curious. Any other totems? Where's... There's another totem in here. Is that really the only totem out of the warrior page? Interesting. Okay. I'm betting this works. If it said mace right there, I feel like it wouldn't work. Go to clear fill. Yeah, it makes the patch more exciting for that reason with how many new builds you can find. Yeah, it's super exciting. Hope that we see some really cool ideas popping up partway through League. Man, we're gonna see some shit like in 2 weeks or less. Like it wasn't too late in Dawn of the Hunt before Lightning Spear started taking off and people were just blowing shit up. I don't know when Blood Mage stuff, when that tech came out, it felt like maybe around 4 weeks or so, maybe a little later than 2 weeks, I think. Guess I need it on my bar. So yeah, we're good on Totem. It's good to know. So weapon swap mechanics with the totems. If you're playing Mercenary and you're getting into mortars, you can get into totems early with that totem. Overall, Totem's looking really good. Might be something I do personally, but all TBD. Game day decisions for me. All right, where the hell was I? Let's go back here. Oh, yeah. That's right. You gotta go talk to the map. Lachu, how feasible is it to theorycraft anything without access to the new skills passive tree? Yeah, I mean, what it does is it allows you to come up with your pathing. So I'll just kind of share what I did. Share. I'll just kind of walk you through my theorycraft here. And I'm not saying this is how it should be done or whatever. It's just how I'm thinking about it. And it will help me make those game day decisions easier. That's all it's really doing for me. So share left. So we know that we're getting a bunch of added nodes all throughout, but it's like my general pathing right now is this direction because overall I'm trying to pick up bleed and I know where the strong bleed is. Like they're adding things, they're not taking things away is what I read. And I know what is currently good. So once the passive tree comes out and all of a sudden there's some nodes or some wheels in here, then I'm looking at those and I'm like, oh, okay, well, along this path, I now have access to maybe something like maybe some poison pops up around here. I can see poison, armor break, things that actually play into what I'm thinking of doing. So that's kind of the theory crafting side of it for me. But this is a witch hunter, and overall just trying to cook up with the passive loadouts. So I've got the weapon sets in. I brought in some gear from a SSF character that wasn't really scaled. Just reaching T15, basically. Some rubies that gave me magnitude to bleeding. And essentially with the weapon sets, you start off with like a default tree, because you cannot pick up jewel sockets in your weapon set tree. You have to pick those up in your default with your regular points. So you start out with a path that hits like two sides. So for me, going in with the crossbow, heavy into shock and armor break, and then with the spear, bleed. So I wanted to go this direction. I pick up crit for both sides on the default tree, maiming strike, dexterity, enhanced reflexes. So the defensives and anything that does like physical damage, stuff like that. And then we bring in the crossbow. So armor piercing rounds is what I was playing around with to bring in armor break, and then I'll take grenade for shock. Full DPS. And so then you can see maybe, yeah. So this is where you start picking up crossbow specific stuff along that same path. Projectile stuff. Maybe you do grenade stuff instead, depending on what you're trying to do. But overall, magnitude of shock, I was able to pick up 50% shock. So getting up to 50% on the magnitude, helping that bleed that's going to finish off a boss. Then we'll swap over to the bleed real quick. The spear, by the way, there's like 51 passive set points that I'm using for this one. So not the 100. I think I had too much full DPS probably, but not really looking at that anyways. The crossbows to set up. Oh, by the way, with the Ascendancy on Witch Hunter, we're getting 50% magnitude of shock. We're getting armor break, and we're getting the concentration here for this idea. I'm not going to call it a build yet. And then let's make sure we've got our items, our spear. So then we go to the bleed side. All the crossbow shock stuff removed, and we're able to use 51 points into bleed magnitude. The issue with this theory right now is our crit chance is pretty low. But something to work on with supports and other things. And so it's just kind of like you have a general idea, you have a general path, and then game day, you get more information and you pivot. Anyways, I'm going to save that. That's kind of my first idea for Witch Hunter, because I do like Spear and Bleed. I'm a little concerned about Bleed, especially if you're not a Blood Mage, because of that, the nerfs to Bleed and Blood Hunt and stuff. We'll see how that works out, but I do think that if you're going to work with Bleed, you're going to need some way to scale that is not just pumping your Rake or your Blood Hunt or whatever. You're going to have to bring in Shock, War Banner. You know, it used to be Infernal Cry. Or Infernal Cry got nerfed. And then if you're a Blood Mage, then I guess you're bringing in all your elemental damage to your bleed magnitude, which is great. I haven't actually played Blood Mage, and I don't think I will this league. But who knows? All right. So let's swap this back out. Honestly, for this right now, the armor-piercing rounds is a little clunky. We don't have the benefit of 0 delay swap and everything else that's coming. Honestly, man, maybe I should just roll with Shockwave Totem for a little bit, see how it feels, honestly. Throw that down, throw down some Spear Field. ST Salter, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate you. Certain Plot Twist, what up? Welcome back. Brainstorm anything for Witch Hunter? I just went over it. You might have to rewind in YouTube or check the VOD. Or I do think I'll go over it again towards the end of stream. So we'll go over it again a little later. Just ran across your Bleed Ritualist build while doing research for .3. Are you or know somebody I can follow in 03 for Ritualist? Thank you for your response. I'm not going Ritualist in 03 up front. So yeah, I don't really know. Wooly, if you ever follow him, he was into Bleed Ritualist. And he brought in some poison, and I saw some poison interaction with Bleed in the changes, so maybe he goes after it again. I'm not sure. But overall, for Bleed on the Ritualist, you're definitely gonna need to find some way to replace like things like Infernal Cry and Blood Hunt. I think it's gonna be, again, that information that we're not seeing, those missing passives, the missing lineage supports, and all the supports that will either make or break something like Ritualist Bleed right now. That's going for just about everything, so. The thing about Ritualist Bleed is that we brought up a tier list earlier. The thing about Ritualist in general is the Ritualist passives are great for endgame. I really enjoy the ring and the 25% added to the jewelry. I played Ritualist like crazy. But for League Start campaign, those things don't really turn on much. Like that does not turn on your campaign League Start. So it is a slow burn. That's what I would say. All right. I'll hold on to the crossbow, I guess. But yeah, I kind of want to try out this totem thing. And we'll put brutality on that. Yeah. See how that goes. I guess I should level up the gem, though. We'll do that. Where are you? But overall, on that Ritualist, I really didn't go heavy into some of the meta stuff. Like, I wasn't using Infernal Cry. At the end of the day, the shield with Lay Siege, so 75% block chance with Lay Siege, and then anointing into offensive stance, really brought a lot of damage to that build. I just went heavy into just trying to scale through the passive tree, and then the rings do help. And of course, Venopuncture is not getting nerfed, it doesn't look like, and you can run 2 Venopunctures easily on the Ritualist, which really does help. So just bringing up your bleed magnitude as much as possible in those other ways. All right, let's get back out there. I gotta go to the map. See. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't want to switch things up too much. Oh yeah, this is where I gotta make a decision. Which one do I hate least? I feel like the Titan could easily kill me. I died recently to the Titan, or no, did I die? No, I almost died. It was like it was a crazy fight on my warrior in HCSSF, and it took forever, and I just kept on getting hit, which hasn't happened in a while on that fight. I'm a little concerned. You missed this. CERN, what did you miss? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to use this new totem that I have. You gotta figure out if it's worth doing totem instead of the I've never played totems, and I've never really I've done a little bit of crossbow. Like I did a campaign where I messed around with a crossbow swap, which is interesting because now they made swapping, and it looks like crossbow swap is going to be pretty cool. So I kind of know, I've already messed around with it in 02. Tactician 03 League Start Practice. Path of Exile 2. Ah. So the stream yesterday, it looks like. That's alright. You're here now, that's what matters. But no, I have a POB that I went over in this stream, and YouTube allows you to rewind, so you could actually go rewind and check that POB if you're really, really wanting to see the discussion on the Witch Hunter.
Need more time.
Yeah. I really want E to be my totem now that I have totem because of Q is right there. I kind of like things to be in an order. Like I'll lay down... Really, I would want totem on Q, honestly. It'd be the first thing I do. Yeah, I'm getting really excited. We are so close to this league start, man. It's kind of funny though, is like last time with Dawn of the Hunt, super excited for it, and then it beat my ass for a while. Like Dawn of the Hunt league start was something else, man. I wonder how this one's gonna turn out. Are you going hardcore trade? Oh yeah, that's right. Earlier I was saying this is the League of Trade you really want to do, because someone brought up HCSSF and I didn't even think of hardcore trade. But my first character is going to be HCSSF, and I get 1 life to live. And once I die, I'm transferring over to trade because I've got a guild that I'm running, and I want to play with the guild. I want to play in trade, but I'm going to see how far I can get, and I'm hoping that I can actually get a little bit of Act 4 blind in, but I might just end up dying, who knows. One life. Truly 1 life. And then after doing trade for a month or 2, whenever guild activity starts to go down, I'm going to swap back over to HCSSF towards the end of League, like I did in Dawn of the Hunt. Yeah, Totem would be a lot easier for this swap to actually utilize all the time, because you can just lay it down, versus crossbow and actually machine gunning until armor breaks. Eventually, Spear gets access to Bloodhound's Mark, which breaks armor really easily. Of course, Totem, you would definitely have to do the weapon sets and everything, because you really do want to invest in totems if you're using totems. And if I did that, I would probably lean more Tactician than Witch Hunter, because I don't feel like I would need all of those set points. And I would want maybe some of the Ascendancy options from the Tactician if I were going into totems in a meaningful way. Tough call there. I think we're going to head over to Spear. Alright, maybe this way? I gotta go Ascend. I keep forgetting to just go to get the Ascension. I'm kind of torn. I think for this test, because we don't have the 100 points, we're just gonna run with Tactician. Since we're both there, I'm up in the air basically on which one to do. Yeah, does anybody have any really interesting league start ideas, or have you seen any like content out there that really looks strong? I've not really been following any pre-guides out there. And it does seem like the community's a little split. Like there is definitely a player base out there that is like blind. It doesn't matter. There's too much missing information. Why do you even care? Just play the game. And then there are others out there on the opposite end of the spectrum where they are trying to theorycraft the shit out of this so that they don't have a bad league start. And overall, in this game, like based on what I felt in 02, a bad league start does not feel very good. So if you can avoid that, yeah, you probably want to avoid that. And I kind of feel bad for new players who are just like gonna give it a shot without really knowing anything about the game, because I feel like they're gonna get their ass beat. Stormweaver, Arc, Firestorm. Interesting. I saw something that looked very interesting. Now I can't remember. Damn, what had something to do, was it? I think it might have been a blood mage that was using an actual spells for bleed, like it was using some big fire spell for bleed or something. I don't remember. I've been reading so much shit that I'm having a hard time. Content overload right now. Something squishy. Oh man, out of all the stuff in the update, I'm most excited about the updated tank. Because I've been playing armor evasion characters all of 02 with shield, and I feel like it just got a lot stronger. And honestly, Warbringer looks pretty sick with Encased Jade update and access to the mercenary side with evasion, armor, and all that. Deflection. I mean, god dang. I think the Warbringer is just going to be a beast. This boss can be interesting sometimes. A lot of times, this boss is like... To me, I feel like you don't really know how it's going to go until you're in the ring with the two. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's extremely difficult. Based on your build. I think it'll be... Having Spearfield, I think, is really good in this one. Okay. Gotta kill him, I guess. Here we are, I think. No. All right. I do like this zone. I like the wide openness. Of course, this zone got nerfed early on. It used to be extremely difficult. They would off-screen you all the time. You just get hit out of nowhere by several things at once. But the way they designed this with the dudes that charge in, plus the mages in the back, pretty good. Oh, wait. Is that it? That might be it. Here we go. No? Shit. Yeah, it was bullshit back in the day. This zone was crazy, dude. They tried to get rid of a lot of off-screen stuff, but man, that one mob that does the fire beam 2 screens away through a mountain that hits you in the face, like, you should probably do something about that, dude. I guess we'll go this way. This is a little concerning, though. Sprint will be nice. Oh shit, there we go. Kind of how it was. Oh shit. Okay. Laugh aloud, what the fuck? A spear mace build, sweet. Ah man, I almost got killed. Welcome to chat. Yeah, right now we are mace. I was crossbow at first, but I wanted to give Totem a try, see how it felt. Versus, I'm thinking armor-piercing rounds and high velocity. Because of the update. It seems like that thing's gonna chunk, and I'm interested in a crossbow skill that's gonna give me some impale, armor break. Maybe get some shock, especially. All things that buff the bleed. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. How can I actually scale bleed with the changes now? Weapon swap seems to be the way. Just a TBD on how exactly. I was thinking about going totems and slams with 2 different passive trees. Yeah, totems and slams. That'd be cool. Flash grenade. Bleed is underwhelming. I mean, well... In Dawn of the Hunt, it wasn't. So are you saying in 03 it looks underwhelming? Because it does. I agree with you. I'm a little concerned with bleed, if I'm being honest. Could be a big mistake. Shit. I need to kill this other dude. Damn you. I'm gonna have a buffed mage for sure here. I don't like that. Shit.
Need more time.
Damn you. Oh, this is where it hurts. Oh, God. No! You bastard. Spearfield does work. It's like my best skill right now. But he doesn't move, so it's kind of an issue.
Not yet.
Yep. Every time I set that up. Bleed is underwhelming. I think I read that just now. It is definitely underwhelming in the campaign. Takes a little while. Oh shit, don't walk through that. I was about to die. Where are you?
Need more time.
Oh god, that hurt, that hurt. I'm out of flask. Okay.
I despise necromancy.
God damn.
Time to take this trophy and run.
Whew. Oh, Spearfield's hidden 300% damage just got nerfed and it hurts Spear Bleed. Yeah, true. Spearfield, so I didn't know that there was like an actual hidden 300% damage to it. I saw that they changed it where you do less damage if it's triggered before 0.5 seconds. But I actually did not know that. So they fixed something, huh? God damn it. Hate when they do that. Alright. Let's get out of here. God dang. So yeah, Spearfield looking worse. Blood Hunt looking way worse. Rake, not really touched, but Infernal Cry, gone. Tangle Tongue, gone. Deepest Tower, Spiritborn Crown, gone. Ugh. I might have to make, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I don't know, guys. We'll see what happens with the support gems and all that. Passives.
Thee? Do not wander.
Alright, what do we got? Stash some things, I guess. That way it gets cleaned up for free in a couple days. Don't have to worry about it. Or someone would just come over and clean everything out every 4 months or 4 weeks. No, months. That way I wouldn't have to clean my room. Okay. I gotta make sure I don't get rid of this. I'm gonna put it in here. I'm having a better time with Totem right now than I did with the Crossbow. But with the 0 delay, it might be different. And with the changes to high velocity rounds. LOL, WTF, gonna go make some cookies and eat them. That sounds really good. Now I'm hungry. Thank you. But appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining chat. Hope to see you again and hear about your league start. Alright guys, let's get out of here.
Young one.
I'm coming off of that high, almost dying to that boss. Don't know how to play the game after that. What are we looking at here? 21, 20, 33. Yeah, I think that might be the play. I don't think I'll need that. We're going to need lightning. Okay, so we do need fire actually coming up. Let's go see a Titan. Or a Colossus. I don't know the proper name for this dude. It's Valley of Titans, right? Valley of Titans, but then he's a Colossus, pretty sure. Glad I have my fire charm equipped. That was a mistake. Or wait, he does do fire too, though. Maybe it wasn't.
Looks like any other valley to me.
Normally I'd go for electricity, though, I think. Or what is it in the center? Is it all fire? I know he does electricity on the ground, but the center ball thing, I'm actually curious now if that's fire or electricity. That one hurts a lot. And it seems to hit me a lot, too. Whereas the other ones are more avoidable, it seems. I didn't kill that dude. Thought I had him.
Need a sec.
I do not like how disengage and shield charge share some sort of cooldown. Kind of sucks. Dang, dude. So the Titan's going to be kind of brutal based on the last boss. If he's stationary, which he is most of the time. Spearfield's not going to do work on that dude.
The hunt begins. That's the one. Put it down.
Essence of... Oh, God.
We were
No thanks.
Come on now. Let's end it.
You got me. Yeah, the single target right now is not really where I'd want to see it, and gonna have some problems, especially if we're not picking up the spears. No longer rely on the rake stomping ground, obviously, which really hurts. What that allowed is you didn't really have to worry about your spears much. At all, really. It was stomping ground, just getting the strength. Good spear helped, of course. I mean, you do more damage. Spear. Yeah, let's go that way. Doesn't help that we're traveling right now, either. Yeah, for the league start, I will be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is the plan, as much as I can. I can't be on all day, every day. And I'll probably be going a little slower. Like, I'm kind of sad. I would love to be through Act 4 on day 1, but I probably will not be there. Blood Soul, new here. Are you thinking of having a build up and pay off on 2 separate weapon sets? Yeah, we've got a little something cooking that I went over a little bit ago. We'll go over it again, I think, after Titan or Colossus. But Witch Hunter kind of cooking on a Crossbow bleed version for the Witch Hunter. Bleed is going to need some help, I think, unless we get some really nice supports that help because of all the nerfs to bleed, honestly. At first, I didn't really think it was going to hurt too bad because I had already played around with bleed a lot, and I didn't at first use Tangle Tongue. And what else? I didn't use Infernal Cry, but I was on the Ritualist and then the Tactician. But what I was using was Deepest Tower, Spiritborn Crown. So yeah, with all of those things missing, it's going to be pretty hard to scale bleed, I think. We're going to need shock for sure, I think, at this point. A big magnitude. Damn it. Get off me. Where are you? Yeah, Bloodsoul, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining chat. Hope you're getting excited as much as I am. What are you thinking of playing? Damn it, dude. How many of these mages are there? Where the hell is he? There's another one right here. Good God. And another one over here. Is he dead? Okay. If I get laid on more than once at the same time, I'm probably dead. I don't want two skeletons at the same time. That would be bad. Damn, I'm almost out of flask here. There we go. Okay. Probably pick up that superior crossbow, but I'm not too terribly concerned, I guess. Yeah, Filter Blade just put out a video. If you use Filter Blade, they've got a new function where you can load a preset based on your class and weapon gear choices, and you just click the buttons and it'll filter out. Probably pretty good for starting out and leveling. But if you're in HCSSF, man, I like to pick up quite a bit because I don't know what my next character is going to be. You really got to work on building out your stash as much as possible, even in the leveling. Because if you die, you want it to be a little bit easier next time, every single time. Nothing worse than dying on your character in hardcore and then not having any stash for the next character. And basically doing another league start. Damn! Didn't see these guys. Okay. I feel like I've missed every single checkpoint, actually, now that I think about it. I have not clicked anything. At least I have this early. war spear. Gotta pick up all the weapons. Might even be time for to try for an upgrade. We just got an upgrade, but it's already feeling kind of lackluster, honestly. One thing I haven't really thought of is if I do go weapon swap on spear and we're moving to the right side of the tree, I mean, so crossbow into spear, we could play around with the supports and the nodes that give you bonuses when you swap between range and back and forth with range and melee. I mean, I don't think they're that strong, but it's an option, I guess. If we're constantly doing that. Oh shit. I want to abuse weapon swap so very broadly. Okay. Witch Hunter or Chrono. Witch Hunter to try 2 different weapon classes. Chrono also for 2 weapon sets. But one utilizing cast speed and another utilizing AoE. Yeah. Your brain probably hurts, doesn't it? Mine does. Once we get out of this zone, I'll pull up the POB for the Witch Hunter. God dang, we're gonna be in the zone for a while. Somehow I missed like everything. We got one. Let's see what this is over here. Nothing. This is where sprint would be very good. Overall, I think the sprint ad is pretty genius. It's a very good move, I think. Keeps the integrity of their combat speed while adding a travel that people will need. Okay. Oh, good. So I had more than I thought. Maybe. Oh, so it makes it sound like that every time? How am I just now noticing that? Okay, probably this. And Minions looks like it's gotten a pretty good update. It'll be interesting to see if Minions actually pops off in this league. If it does, oh man, like, I feel like it's gonna bring a lot of players. There's a lot of players who just love Minion classes. I've never really been one, but it's a big deal. All right, let's go. Let's get the waypoint, and then we will look at the Witch Hunter real quick. It's just some theory that I'm tossing around. Haven't really been able to... Of course, you know, nobody knows anything, right? Let's do this. All right, so we'll go back. I've got POB up. So we have a default tree. And we'll start with armor-piercing rounds here. So. Sacred Lag, thank you for the follow in Twitch. Appreciate you. All right, so here's the default tree where the Witch Hunter, we get 100 extra points. This is using around 51 or so passive points, not the 100. But overall, the idea is to, for bossing, open with your crossbow, armor break, concentration, and right now a 50% magnitude shock, but really just trying to scale the shock magnitude as much as possible. So for the travel, we go to the right over here and pick up this for both sides of the tree. You cannot pick up jewels with your weapon set tree or your passives. You have to use your regular points. So you're going to need to have like a default path. As far as I know, like maybe someone breaks this somehow, but if you're using jewels, I think you have to. So for the default, we do pick up cruel methods for physical damage and some armor break, giant slayer, some crit, some movement speed, skill speed, evasion. So all of our defensives we'll put on the default, but then we'll move over to the crossbow. And you can see that we now have crossbow specific passive points. This wheel over here, and then shock. And we travel all the way over here to get the shock magnitude. And then we're swapping the spear for the bleed. So the idea is for the first weapon set, setting up a big bleed. We're doing that with shock, concentration, and armor break in this case. And this is just ideas. And then we'll swap over to weapon set 2, spear. Get the full DPS on rake. This off. So then we go over to the tree and you can see that it's moved over to bleed nodes. We're getting magnitude everywhere we can. We're running a shield, so we're picking up shield expertise to boost our shield block. We're using lay siege. By the way, I don't have an anoint. I don't have any special jewels. The jewels are mainly for bleed magnitude. We pick up the spear wheel. And that's pretty much it, right? Just try to bring the magnitude up. So if I go to skills or configuration, the big thing, I removed banner. So the big question mark for me is whether or not we're going to be able to use banner. I guess I completely removed it. But with banner, this goes up quite a bit. Let's see. So we go up to 1 million bleed. And the items I'm using are a HCSSF character that had just gotten into T15. So no pinnacle content or anything. Still had a ways to go. But having already 1 million bleed is actually pretty good. Like this is going to get you into pinnacle content for sure. So not bad. The biggest question mark out of all of this to me is whether or not we can actually use banner due to the glory change. We'd have to bring some stun into the mix in order to use our banner. We wouldn't have access to the tactician that is going to gain 5% or 5 glory per second now in order to just use banner no matter what. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm cooking with right now. We're also thinking about maybe instead of doing the crossbow, getting into totems instead. Totems and mortars maybe. And in that case, I probably wouldn't go Witch Hunter. I'd probably go Tactician instead and just use the 24 weapon set points. Most of my builds have already been leveraging weapon set points, so I kind of used to it by now. But it would be nice to have extra for sure. It'd really do some things. So I think this does get broken somehow. Like somebody's going to break this. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. You guys got any ideas that I could be testing out or trying? I do really like Spear, and I'm used to it. I'm kind of sad about what I'm seeing. But it'll be a game day decision whether or not I actually go into Spear. I do like the Shield Charge and Stomping Ground is still a thing, and we can use it on Spear, for the campaign at least. But I think we're going to see on this boss here that right now my single target is not really where I would want it to be. in hardcore. I think I'm going to struggle on this boss, honestly. If not, outright die here. This boss gave me some trouble the other day. Did I just roll right out of that? I need to stop doing that. There's a delay to your last stomping ground, and if you roll after a charge, you will miss some of your damage. Anyways, if you're enjoying the content, please do like the... just drop a like, it helps, if you would. And for anybody who's new, I do run a guild in PoE too, so if you are looking to guild up and haven't, consider my guild as an option. It's small and new to the game, basically, very new player friendly, because I'm a new player myself. Damn it, I'm running out of flask. I think I'm chugging it way too much, or I am taking damage. Probably both. Did I... Sometimes in this map, or yeah, I guess this map, it's like you can walk right up to the boss if you're lucky. It seems like it can be very, very short. We're gonna get another level here soon. I want that. Okay. Just had to check something real quick. Gotta make sure I got both my chat up. I am streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. Mainly my audience is on YouTube. But wherever you like to hang out, it's fine with me. Okay. Now we get to go in the spear. I'm excited to pick that up. I wonder though, actually. Probably should have picked up this first, and then I should probably pick up this second. That's going to be both defense and damage. And then go into the spear, I think is the play. Okay. It will be interesting what the community can cook up with the Witch Hunter. I do feel like the developers, I don't think that they forgot about the Witch Hunter, but it was glaringly obvious. Like, didn't every Ascendancy get a change? Was there any other Ascendancy that just did not get any change in the original notification or update? I can see them just going, well, shit, what do we do? And then I can also see them going, who the hell had Witch Hunter? And then looking at some spreadsheet and then going, oh, god damn, we forgot to assign that to somebody. This looks like it. Uh-oh. Alright, here we are. I don't know what I do if I die here. Oh, Titan has no change still? Oh god, I didn't realize that Titan didn't get any change. Seriously? Interesting. Certain plot twist, bro. Did I just forget about Titan? Actually, I don't think that I've ever really played Titan. Let's see, yeah, I guess when I ascended, I played a little bit of Warrior in the early days. Instead of the Weapon Master Notable Passable Skill now gives 100 points. Let's see what CERN is saying here. Yeah, the preceding small passive now grants 6% increased cooldown recovery rate. Yeah, CERN. Yeah, that's a thing. Yes, that happened either yesterday or the day before, and that's kind of what we've been all kind of talking about. That's funny. And I think everybody's reaction was the same as yours, almost like, bro, what the hell? Like, it seemed like out of nowhere, all of a sudden, this huge update, and I feel like they just said, what can we do? Because they didn't do anything. And they just threw it at the wall, and they're like, we'll see what happens. It'll maybe get broken. Yeah, the build that I pulled up earlier on, I guess I'm not calling it a build, I'm calling it an idea, is using 51 passive set points. So it'll be hard, I think, for anybody to actually use 100, especially since you can't use jewels on your passive set points. So there's got to be some sort of travel, right? So, but anybody who uses 100, I mean, damn. I honestly don't know how I'm gonna kill this dude in any amount of decent time. I feel like my time to kill on this boss is gonna be outrageous. Wonder if I want my crossbow back for this guy. Can you go past a jewel roadblock if you just don't put a jewel in it? Yeah, I think you probably could, actually. It does seem to be the jewel itself that is the limitation. So yeah, that might be a good workaround there. Good call. You could forego gems if it's worth it. Welcome to chat, Smedgen. Thanks for being here. Let's see. I did the full circle. I hate when I... Alright, so yeah, sometimes in this map you can run straight up to the boss in like 2 seconds. Then sometimes this happens. Doubt. Damn, dude. Maybe over here somewhere? Doubt it's over here. Jewels are really powerful, though. That'd be a tough call. JF, yo, what up? Making use of those emotes, I see. I just updated the channel with some new emotes, or emojis, I guess they're called in YouTube. I'm super proud of them. The artist I was working with was super cool. Okay, so yeah, that's not that. Shit. This way? Let's try that. Welcome back. Good to see you. We're getting ready for the league start. Getting super pumped here. Super pumped. Yeah, if I die here, I'm not sure. I think I'll just continue since we're so close to league start. I don't think I'm going to start again on hardcore. Probably continue on this character to keep going with the spear idea. Just to get a feel for it, kind of get used to the campaign again. Oh, CERN! Hold up a second. You must have gotten, did you get lucky with the other day I gifted some memberships. I didn't, unless I'm missing a notification. You must have been one of the lucky. I'm still unclear how YouTube handles notifications. Like, I've got my Twitch notifications, I hear it. I get it on screen, but YouTube is a little different. It's like it's handled in chat mainly, unless there's probably some overlay stuff that I need to look into for YouTube, but it's a bit different. Oh, okay, so CERN, yeah, you were one of the lucky ones. Congrats there. Apparently every month I can hand out memberships. So I'll be doing that as much as I can. That's on the YouTube side, by the way. Ah, shit. This is the boss, man. This is gonna take forever.
Oh, shite.
I like that. Oh, shite. See, Spearfield doesn't even, like, work at all. What's gonna be the, like, the thing that actually does damage here? Okay. I like when he hits that, because then he runs into the spear field. Oh, I got caught. Get away, get away, get away. Oof. Okay. Taking some hits here. Oh, get out of there. Oh, the other way. Damn, that sucks. My spear's wasted. Gotta watch my flask here. Oof. Oh, wow. Okay. What? Thought I was dead. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Come over here, come over here. Nope, nope, nope. Watch out, watch out. Come on. Alright, there we go. This is where I can get some damage. Ah! Screwed that up. My fingers are starting to hurt, guys. I got too many abilities. Oof. Ah, that one's almost unavoidable for me. can't even actually hit him with the shield charge. His hitbox is just so stupid. I'm not gonna mess around this time. Ooh! Ah, my flask, man. I don't know about this. Oh, God. Shit! I wasn't ready! Damn it, dude. Woo! Oh, great. I'm gonna have to use my flask. I'm almost out, dude. Oh, damn it. Oh no, guys. I'm not resetting. This is it. What? I got hit. I'm gonna die right here. Okay, good. Okay, I took some hits. Oh shit. Fuck!
Not yet.
No, don't get hit by this. No! Come on! Die, you son of a bitch! Jesus!
Thought I was cooked for sure.
God damn. Like, is this gonna be the league start? I don't know if this is the right call, honestly. Okay. Somebody, yeah, pump the damage. Dude, who was it earlier that said bleed is underwhelming? Yeah. Ugh. Am I making this game harder than what it has to be? Shit. All right. I gotta come off of that for a second. I don't know how to play the game anymore after that.
All right.
Okay. I got a jeweler's orb. Interesting. I don't know what to do with that right this second. I don't want to think about it. My brain hurts. My fingers hurt. My ass hurts. Everything hurts. Okay. I think we're good there. Check the spears out. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to invest in it that much. Put it off to the side. I guess I got one here too. I don't know why. Epic fight. Thanks, guys. Cinema. Yeah, cinema. Let's see. Oh, actual ethical build. Yeah, pretty much. which means don't do what I'm doing. Justin Steele, welcome to chat. Going Witch Hunter Spears. Yeah, we went over an idea. I'm not totally solid on what I'm going to be doing. It's more of a game day decision, but I am looking at Witch Hunter and Bleed with Spears, Rake. The idea being use the first weapon set on something like Crossbow to bring in Magnitude of Shock, maybe concentration on the Witch Hunter, armor break, buff the Bleed. We're going to need to try to scale that in some way. So Witch Hunter might be an option for that. That's kind of the idea. Later on in stream, like later on, we'll pull up the POB again just for the Witch Hunter idea. Right now, I think it's time to ascend. I need some sort of boost here. So let's go do that. And in this case, for this test, I think we're going to ascend with Tactician. All right. Man, I really am like trying to come off of that high there. Hardcore solo self-found. A fight like that lasts that long, no flask. I mean, I'm like almost... My hands are shaking. Okay. Let's get back to it.
What? Hmm.
Yeah, let's go ascend. Where is it? This one? Yeah. Hopefully this isn't as interesting. I don't know. I'm actually going to the trial as a means to calm down a little bit and maybe have a little more easygoing of a time. Let's see if that's the case here. The adrenaline was flowing.
I will serve. We have.
What do we get? Sacred water. I'm gonna hit this thing. Quantity of keys. It's not a great one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. How do I do this again? Oh yeah, you can't actually use it on the first one? No. Yeah, you can. Okay. Been a while.
This better be worth it.
Damn it, this thing's in the way. Should have went and did that first.
Here goes nothing.
All right, so I guess I gotta move my face. Should be better now. Oh shit! Now I'm gonna die. Oh god. I'll fix the OBS in a second, or I guess I can do it now. I forgot I could pause. There we go. Well, it's not gonna be a perfect run. Whoops. Well, I couldn't even kill this rare. This is not a good sign.
Notch on me helmet.
That was close. A moment of respite.
Okay. I think we're gonna go here. Can I not go through that? Yeah, if I don't know, single. I hope that totems, maybe it's totems that will help us. There's got to be something that comes out that helps this league start. Overall, though, Bleed does feel like it's in a bad spot off the bat. Of course, it's not like Rake and everything was strong in O2 league start. It wasn't. It's just that eventually people found Rake and Stomping Ground, which was really strong. And then all the Bleed stuff, it comes online later. I really think that armor-piercing rounds, and I'm hoping armor-piercing rounds and high-velocity changes are really meaningful and fun to play and effective. Because that would be a nice single-target bossing option that we could go through the campaign on. The thing about this Tactician Ascendancy right here for this start, I don't think there's anything that really brings damage to the table early in campaign for the first 2 points, if I recall. Okay, so what one do we want? That one's fine. We'll go this way. As usual, I have basically 0 energy shield. I'm probably one of the only people who have not played energy shield yet in a meaningful way. Keep thinking that these are going to actually spawn. So if we go Tactician, I mean, really, I would go for the pin, I think, up front. I wouldn't go for the defensive. And, I mean, if we're in Spears, I'm definitely going pin. The bottom right of the tree is more on totems and mortars, right? I would need to look at that. I've not ever really used Tactician the way it's supposed to be used.
Magnificent.
And then the left side of the tree is all Spirit Gem, War Banner stuff. So yeah, interesting. Then if we went Witch Hunter again, I just feel like you just pick up the passive points and have them right off the bat and see what you could do to scale your character right then and there with weapon set points. Totally screwed up my plan there. Okay. I always, like, don't really know where to go after that. Shit. Okay, not where I thought. So probably this way. Nice, a sapphire ring. Uh-oh. Whew, that was close. Wait a second. Didn't hit anything, right? Is there a lever down here? Okay, so this is a treasure room. What the hell? And this one's closed. Maybe there was something here that I missed. Let's see what's up here. No. Damn it. Man, yeah, a new trial system would be great. I do not like the trials. Sometimes I like to be handed things. Alright, so what the fuck, dude? How dumb am I right now? Is it this? Jesus. Really? All right, hold up. I gotta look at this. So you go over here, you hit this lever. And then oh, so that opens up the treasure room. And then this is the one that actually opens up the area you need to go. That is kind of frustrating. I've gotten pretty bad at puzzles. I was playing the original Zelda, and I wasn't using a book or anything. No internet. I mean, I played this game a ton in my younger years and was beating it like nothing. But I got to the area where you have to walk up and down, left and right through the zones in a certain order in order to progress. Like it'll just keep on being the same screen. That's where I quit the game. I couldn't figure it out.
Well, that's one down.
And then I did also try Link to the Past for a while. That one was even worse. Couldn't figure out who to talk to in town to progress. I have no idea. I literally spent like an hour trying to just progress in that game, and it wasn't even that far into the game. And I couldn't figure it out. Yeah, Link to the Past. Like, what? Who do I need to talk to? Like just one specific town person out of 5 different towns? Like, what is going on here? I was so confused and it was pissing me off. All right, what the fuck? Okay, here we go. So now I go through here, up there. Shit.
Not yet.
Damn, dude. They don't call it a trial for no reason. Oh, come on. Is this gonna hit me? Okay, we'll go that way. I feel like I'm getting the harder ones out of the bunch. So far, I've not been able to kill the rare in this room in time. It's a 1-minute fight, basically. I need a new spear or something. Shit, I've not been doing a good job of checking the vendors. I need to go do that after this. Alright, do I actually do this thing? Random minor affliction, take damage, random minor boon. I don't think I want to do that. Lose 20 sacred water when you take damage. Yeah, let's do this one. Both of them are escape trials. What happens with what? All right, so man, that rare might be juiced up in that other room or something. What am I doing? I forgot how to play. This guy needs to die. So does this guy. There we go.
Good riddance.
Woo! Watch out for that. Should be full, I think. Sweet. And then we'll get the bender and hope for 40% damage. Oh, yes. Whoops. Wrong button.
Need more time.
Sweet.
Impressive endurance.
They're gonna follow me, probably.
Rest a while.
Okay. Guess it has to be this one.
Always on what may that serve you.
Alright, let's see how long this fight takes. This guy walks around, luckily, so Spearfield's gonna do some work here. But again, we know Spearfield's getting nerfed. Don't stand next to this guy right at the beginning. It's bad for your health. Oh yeah, dude, Spearfield, man. Look at the difference.
Out for the slam.
Yes.
I knew you would succeed.
Okay.
My pockets are full.
Should have picked up the bow instead. Alright. So yeah, if we were going Witch Hunter, I wouldn't want concentration without having the 4th point, no mercy. I wouldn't want sorcery ward without the final point there. I wouldn't really care much about the AoE. It's not AoE that really sucks for me usually in the campaign league start. It's single target boss damage. And then maybe get Culling Strike. Like, it might be an option. But overall, I think you just go right into Weapon Master and get your 100 points and then play around with that and try to use that to be better. Tactician. I'm not even going to look at Gemling because I'm not doing Gemling. Yeah, dude. Honestly, I think the strongest option for campaign at this level would probably be totems and actually going into totems with all the buffs. I heard that supporting fire really sucks. I never gave it a shot. It did get some changes, but based on what I know, like the complaints about supporting fire, I don't know if this is actually going to be good. I feel like they're scared to make this good. What do you guys think? Has anybody heard or messed around with supporting fire, thinks that they're going to actually do this? I have no idea. I don't think I go Unleash Hell. I don't necessarily want to go into the defensive line without going to the top, and I do think that this is strong. I think this is kind of underrated, but if you're doing a split with armor evasion, you're not really going to get your evasion up beyond 50% anyways, and now you're going to defend with 200% of armor, and now that also could apply to elemental based on that new modifier where your armor will mitigate elemental damage. So yeah, I think that's pretty strong. And then having a maximum physical damage reduction of 50%. Honestly, who the hell is scaling armor up higher than that anyways? I don't know if that's even a thing, really. So, pretty good. And then pin build up, I feel like for spear and crossbow would be pretty good. It's a defensive option, helps you out, but it doesn't really increase your damage, and it doesn't help you against bosses. And then spirit, you're not something I would pick up early on. I wouldn't really get into any of this until the very end if I was doing something with banners. So anyways, honestly, I think totems. So knowing that there's a totem thing here early on the tactician, if you're doing a weapon swap and you're using spears like I'm using spears, for the other weapon, I think it might be two-handed mace with totems, honestly. And then buffing your totem damage with your weapon set skill points. I think we're going to do that.
Gotta fight a little smarter.
Let's do it. And then I got a couple keys, I guess. One, actually. I think I'll go for boots. Okay. I'm not really going to worry about chancing this ring. I would like to alch it, though. Don't have one yet. Guess I'll stash it. Okay.
Use that well.
That everything? Let's get out of here. So knowing that we did that, I'm curious, what are we doing in our passive tree right now? And I feel like, yeah, oh, well, that would help if totems are scaling off of two-handed damage. But with this pathing, what do we have for totems? That might be an issue, actually. Okay, so if we're taking a hard right turn for spear, picking up totem stuff might actually be an issue. Our skill points might be that the split is like right here. One problem with that is that we would then be missing out on jewels. Damn. So unless they add a bunch of totem stuff closer to the center for mercenary, this kind of sucks, actually. Okay, let's do Totem. Oh, here's an option, just right here. That's not bad. Is there anything... So if we do normal travel to here, and then we could split off, do some totems. We could pick up Rage, maybe, if we wanted, or we could just leave it at that. Okay. Let's go ahead and mess around with this. Weak hold gun. Now we can use 2 weapon points in 1 weapon. I think there was something where you can use the same weapon for both your sets. So, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think that they updated that where, like, if you wanted this mace for 2 weapon sets, you were doing something like a totem build and then just a 2-handed mace build, I think you can slot this in both 1 and slot it again in 2, but still have a separate passive tree for the same weapon. I think that's what we're talking about here. But for me, I'm not doing that. I'm kind of playing around with 2 different weapons and weapon sets. Let's do this. Welcome to chat, Weak Hold Gun. Appreciate you being here. So what are you thinking about for your league start? I'm going to take out... We're not doing the crossbow anymore at this point in time. Let's apply those refunds. So I've got 6 to spend. And then 1, 2, 3. I think we do this as well. So we will normal travel over here. I think those were all strength, hopefully. I forgot, I didn't check. Maybe Witch Hunter or Chola Monk. Yeah, Witch Hunter is looking interesting. It's going to be a matter of who can break it the worst. Like, who can break it first and effectively. A lot of people are probably cooking on this one, so... I've never actually done totems. Placement speed would be nice, but I think I just want to do damage up front. Not really having an issue with totem life. So I think I'm gonna do the placement speed as well. So and then with the set passives, we could actually travel to this totem area pretty easily without any jewel slot in the way. So totem would just be traveling over this way, and then for normal points would be traveling this way at this point and then picking up certain things for the spear side. I'd have to build this out in POB. I didn't really think I was going to try out totems here, but here we are. Yeah, I have a little bit of Witch Hunter that I'm cooking up as well. Mainly trying to scale bleed with a crossbow using shock, concentration, and armor break. But overall, it's just ideas at this point. Won't really know until Friday and beyond.
It is fight to the last.
All right, so now I need lightning res. I used Witch Hunter from the start of the league. For me, is good. Don't know why people say it's bad. So if you're a Witch Hunter main already, what would you be like your top couple pointers for people like me who have barely even looked at the Ascendancy One thing, were you using Deepest Tower? Because that seems to be a huge nerf.
Slaves. Knew it. There's never a good side. Just assholes all round. So,
I don't know how good concentration is.
feels like.
Spell ward, how good is that actually? You know, it's got a lot of things in the tree that. Let's take a look real quick. Actually, I'm gonna share. Use grenades. It's all we need. Interesting. Spoken like a true mercenary. Where are we? So yeah, judge, jury, executioner, and all of the culling strike stuff. Like, is that really good? Concentration, is this actually good? There's so much in here that it's like, is it good? Sorcery ward. And we know with 100 passive skill points that just about everybody's going to pick up Weapon Master. And remove enemy's health. Okay, so you use Judge, Jury, Executioner to remove the health. You're getting Culling Strike. And then you've got extra damage against low life. Is there any sort of interaction with low life other than it just happens? Or you is there some tech here that I'm not thinking about, I guess? The only tech I really know about is the Deepest Tower, which has been removed from the game. Okay. How come I can't? Oh yeah, I gotta blow the horn. I did blow the horn.
I am for glory.
So do I have to travel again? I forgot what the hell I have to do here. What the? So we blew the horn. I guess we go to Keth. Where's the? Okay, no, we go to Deshar. Some skill points in the tree for low health monster. So I know this wheel here. Low life. There's this wheel. What I would really want to know is if there's any way to raise the level at which low life is counted. That would be something I'd be interested in. Then there's this wheel. And for full, okay, so you're using decimate. Okay, yeah. I can see that. So you're using the extra crit and damage or whatever against enemies on full life. Your first hit, maybe going in with a big ass grenade, chunking the health right off the bat in 2 ways. And then eventually you get to low life and you're chunking again. That's interesting. It's also kind of interesting because that could work with a bleed build. There's actually a bleed support that also plays into that. Interesting. So if we were going into that with a bleed build spear and we had the weapon set idea going on, you wouldn't want to deal damage with something like armor piercing rounds. You wouldn't want to deal damage with a totem. So the weapon set would likely have to be a curse of some sort. So you'd be wanting to apply your shock and anything else via something that doesn't do damage so that you don't ruin your max life interaction. Damn, these guys are just gonna kill me. Got stuck. Oh, yeah, so grenade is how you open. For me, I'd be looking at trying to do it with rake, I think. Yeah, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing. It's nice to hear. Honestly, like I would not even be half the player I am today, and I'm not good. I'm not saying I'm like super good or anything, but honestly, chat has brought me up to a level that I wouldn't be if it wasn't for chat. Like, I really do appreciate everybody coming in and helping me out, because I'm just a noob at all this. Honestly, I wonder, sometimes I'm like, where the hell was I with PoE 1, man? Because what a great game, and I did not play it at all. It's too busy playing World of Warcraft and stuff. And Diablo. Yeah, one reason why I'm kind of leaning into Spear is because I've been playing Spear and I'm hesitant to go all in on something I haven't played at all for a league start. It'd be fun and interesting, but it could be really painful as well. So I am a little worried about that. I feel like even though Bleed got nerfed and it looks like it's not going to be that good. Damn, this guy's beating the shit out of me. I still feel like I'll have a better time at it because I know it. For me, Mercenary is so comfy. After that, maybe Monk. Yeah. I can see kind of... It's interesting because if there was a new class, I'd just jump into the new class because it's new. But once there wasn't a new class, it kind of threw me for a loop. Like, I'm like, well, shit, now what am I going to do? And eventually, I kind of settled into what I kind of know already. And I think it's a safety thing because I experienced O2 start and it beat my ass. I don't really want to struggle as bad as I did in O2. I really did struggle. These guys again. Zyra, I understand your point of view, but it doesn't mean that knowledge can compensate for certain nerf devs can implement, though. Yeah. You're not disturbing. Thank you for the input. Welcome back to the chat. It's nice to see you. For reals, though, like, yeah, I could be just nerfed out of my ass at the same time, no matter what I know. It's a very valid point, and I'm scared of that, actually. Because what I'm seeing is not looking good for Bleed, especially during campaign. I'm struggling on this guy. It was the Colossus. It was like a 5-minute fight, basically, a little bit ago, and I nearly died. Dalmondo, welcome back. So what's the overall idea with Witch Hunter? For me, the overall idea is using the weapon swap to buff and scale Bleed with Rake. And I'm doing that currently via shock magnitude on the Crossbow, as well as armor break and concentration, since it's in the Witch Hunter tree. Damn, these guys are gonna kill me. Let's use this LOS. You guys are kind of brutal today. Alright, now this is a normal point, and I'm traveling this way, I believe. Or actually, I think I'm going to pick up... Okay, when's the next time I get passive points? The body. So I'm going to get 2. I'm not going to be able to really do this as we level. I'm going to have to use regular points for things, I guess. Why can't I pick that up? Legend! What's the viability of bleed via Blood Mage? I think it's going to be the strongest option based on what I'm seeing. I think if you really truly want to go bleed and want the best possible, I don't know, the safest option, it's going to be Blood Mage. Syra, especially during my minion time, yeah. Adjusting my specters and correction of the patch notes. It's always better to be going out there with general knowledge over a certain thing that you're good into, especially when it's being on the nerfs, like we all know. Yeah, don't touch LS. Interesting, yeah. Bleed Reap. Ooh. Bleep. I like it. All right, so Reap, you're talking about the new weapon that will give you that skill where you cull everything. I wonder if that's good on Witch Hunter. I mean, you all, because you get that one that has culling, so I guess no, you don't need that. You cull everything, right? With any attack is the way I read that. Yeah, my current POB is using around 51 weapon set passives, and we just use essentially armor piercing rounds and voltaic grenade to apply the shock at 50% magnitude and then armor break, and then we get concentration along the way, and that's like 3 buffs to your rake. Then you apply your bleed, and then from there it's a matter of, I think, keeping up your shock mainly, and your, that's where it'd get interesting, is actually keeping up armor break. By the way, that's like campaign. Eventually, I think you don't need armor piercing rounds, and you just use your grenade for the shock because you have access to Bloodhound's Mark later on, and then that's how you get your armor break. So then it becomes simpler. Reap and exsanguinate Scion. Nostalgia, okay. So some PoE 1 stuff. Coming back full circle. I guess it's not full circle. Dalmondo, I think I'm going to try Tactician for start. Interested in the new Ravenous Swarm, Toxic Domain. Interesting. Where is that in the database, or is that in the patch notes? Where can I find some information on that? Because either you mentioned it yesterday or someone else did, but it's like the second time I've heard about this, and I'm not really tracking it. Patch notes? Okay, I'm gonna look that up after this. Get the waypoint. Actually, let's just look it up right now. I'm interested. Let's bring up the patch notes real quick. I'll share in a second. Okay. So, Ravenous Swarm. Let's just search Swarm. Okay. Added a new intelligence persistent buff gem. Ravenous Swarm. While active and enemies are nearby, swarms of insects emerge from your body to pursue enemies. The swarms are untargetable minions that periodically attack and poison enemies within the swarm. Interesting. And then Toxic Domain. Is that new? Dexterity skill gem, Toxic Domain. Create an area of toxic bloom on the ground around you. Okay, so 2 of the things are kind of like an area thing. While in the bloom, okay, I remember seeing this on the actual video. You have increased skill costs. You regen life, and your projectile attacks attach a toxic pustule, which can be poisoned. Okay, so then the swarm will be poisoning them, correct? Pustules will detonate after a duration or when enough poison has been applied. If dealing damage and applying poison in an area around it. Let's see here. I am reading stuff. If you have the emote, there's an emote here, an emoji opportunity. Let's see. I think with the right setup could be very good with Plague Bearer. Interesting. Strange feeling that poison is greater than bleed this league. You heard it here. Dang. And I'm like starting to, you know, my practice is all around bleed. Yeah, this is kind of where you got to leave yourself open. Okay, let's get back. That read emote, the one with the exclamation mark is the read emote now. It's like missing a green thing, essentially. They did tease that poison was getting stronger, and with the nerf to bleed in the patch notes, plus, yeah, starts to make sense. Interesting. I wonder if I should start kind of thinking that direction as well. I'm gonna cook on that a little bit. I'm not prepared right now. I'm sad. I'm a bleed main. See, I want to die on my bleed cross, like, you know, other streamers, where they just go all in on one thing, and if it sucks, they just complain about it for 4 months.
Never been so high. Precarious job.
Okay. Poison concoction could become probably a viable build too. I have the feeling you've been thinking about this a little bit. All right. By the way, Syra, do you have any plans? Like, what's your loose plan, I guess? All right.
I hear you. You found a when I blessings.
Okay. Passive points, nice. So we would travel this way. It is 1, right? I hope I'm doing this right. Okay, good. I would have sucked. Whoops. So I would have to wait until the next passive points in order to pick up this final shield expertise. How long is that? Is that... I think that's Silver Fist, right? I don't... Yeah. I might skip him for a while. Kind of sucks. Okay. Maybe I don't skip him since I'm not super, like, this isn't a hardcore run, really. It's just in HCSSF to simulate the league start, but... Oops. Go ahead. No, I don't have enough of these. Store it. So, yeah, interesting. Syra's going Sorceress with a tri-elemental spell crit. Are you actually gonna use, what weapon do you think you're gonna use? Alright. If anybody else out there has some interesting ideas or want to share what you're doing for League Start, please do so. At this point, like, I'm I'm pretty open. I can never really decide on these things until the very last second. Even then, I usually have buyer's remorse. I might have a problem. Can I return my character, please? Let's go this way. Marceline, welcome back. Nice to see you. All right, I guess I go this way. Maybe. Yes, using the emoji. So I in one stream I was asking what's the difference between an emoji. For some reason, I'm pretty sure Twitch calls those emotes, but in YouTube they're called emojis. But my understanding is that I want to say emotes are usually text-based, like you use text characters or whatever to create them, versus emojis are supposed to be picture-based. I might have that wrong, but I did Google it. But that was like 3 days ago, so can't remember shit. It's here earlier, I forgot to say hi. No worries. Thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. Hey, we could roll a Tangle Tongue. We're gonna ignore that. Tangle Tongue does not exist anymore. They're both just stickers. Okay. I was totally wrong. Sorry, I was gonna use a wand plus a shield. Yes, and block percentage to scale up my damage by 50% for sure. And maybe even later on anoint into the other 50%. I love that there's 2 nodes for that. Super strong node if you're going shields. And it even works on spellcasters. So the next boss moves around a lot, so our spear field's gonna do work. That's nice. I think the next couple bosses are like that. Trying to think here. So after this boss, it is the end, right? Yeah. Probably is working very well with a weapon swap to boost your spell and elemental conflux. Nice. I'm adequate. Welcome back to Twitch. It's nice to see you. What you been gaming? Need to be Friday already. Yeah, I think we all agree. We're talking a lot. There's a lot of talk going on. I will say that the teaser season for a while was kind of annoying me. Because there was just a bunch of videos of nothing. Like, somebody said something, somebody saw a little screenshot, and then it turns into this video that feels like clickbait, and I was starting to get a little pissed off, actually. And then finally, we started seeing some shit, and that felt good. But now, it's like, alright, let's get on with it. Played Dune for a while. Yeah, that game looks pretty fun. Did you enjoy the end game? I heard that it was a really clan-based. Like, you have to clan up in that game. How is Ignite being treated in 0.3? Viable alternative to Bleed? Good question. I really don't know. Ignite does seem kind of weak. Or it has felt weak. I ended up using it on my Infernalist on Blood Hunt, though, but Blood Hunt got nerfed. But I was able to get an ignite that was killing T4 Zesht. Like, it was acting as a bleed, basically. With a really good Blood Hunt and Sacred Flame. It was really cool. But I did see earlier... Damn, I saw some fire... Some interesting fire stuff, but not necessarily with Ignite. So yeah, I think TBD there. I've not really heard anything. I don't know anybody who's like super excited about Ignite. I don't know. Oh, another Grounded 2 player. It's interesting. That looks like a low-key, really good game that people don't really... Like, honestly, unless I hear people saying, oh, this game's really awesome, I look at a game like that and I'm just like, no thanks. Jan Franson, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. What have you been gaming lately? What's your game? Seeing a lot of names from the Hardcore Challenge. Happy you guys are coming back. And good morning to you. I guess I think it was your dogs that would wake you up too early. Maybe that's what's going on. I played, Last Epoch, nice. But yeah, I can't stay away from a patch like this. Oh yeah, your cat, okay. I figure, well, yeah, I guess cats, dude, I haven't had a cat in forever. I had one, we had only one cat growing up. But yeah, I guess I remember the old, like, jump on the bed, kind of slap your face a bunch. Dogs wake you up by whining and just moving around and stuff like that, usually, I think. And then cats will just punch you. Just imagine I've been doing the roguelike mode in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Interesting. Yeah, I really should give rogue like, and I'm sorry, but I really will never understand the difference between roguelike and roguelite. And if you tell me today, I'll forget tomorrow, so you might as well not even try. But I should give that type of game a better shot, because when I do play games like that, I do enjoy them. But I don't go deep in them for some reason. Should go try Battlefield, B42, Battlefield, right? Of Zomboid one day? What is B42 Zomboid? I was thinking Battlefield 42 or something. Build 42, okay. Alright, so it's like a specific Zomboid build. Wonder what makes it so good. Zomboid is a really fun game. It's just one of those games that I feel like you gotta be... to me, I feel like I can never really dedicate to it the way I want to, so I avoid it. The easier ones, usually. Damn, I am not finding the exit here. And I found another dead end. I'm pretty good at that. Let's see if this is anything. Yeah, I think this is shaping up to be a pretty fun patch. I hope that it holds the attention of the player base a little bit longer than Dawn of the Hunt. I feel like Dawn of the Hunt, again, it was like most people probably had a hard time during the campaign. And then you either like respect and re-rolled in order to do something that worked, or you just moved on and quit the game because it was brutal. I had a very difficult time in that League start. It took me forever to get to the end game. I didn't even try down at the hunt. I'm adequate. Yeah. Shit, these guys are beating my ass. Damn, these guys are jumping me, man. What's up with this? Hey, I'm gonna have to be careful here. First week will already determine if the player base stays or not. 0-2 in general was a bad league, yeah. Not much in end game mechanics, if anything. I mean, it's amazing to me though that they didn't make any changes to Asmeri Spirits. I'm very surprised about that, actually. Very underwhelming. And I feel like Abyssal's just gonna absolutely shoot it out of the water. Like, Abyssal's probably gonna be awesome compared to Spirits, and nobody's gonna care about Delwyn. And Delwyn's the only thing, that's the only change. Delwyn got kicked off the island, basically. Probably will need some decks here soon. Players have spoken. Delwyn is the weakest link. Goodbye. He is super annoying. And the spirits are pretty kind of annoying as well and not really useful. I will say that once sacred prices go up again and I'm in trade, I'll probably roll some spirits in my tree as a way to gamble, essentially, because I'm a gambaholic. I like to see 60 div drops every once in a while, so. Abyss greater than spirits for sure because of betrayal unveiling, yeah. So the modifier, it's crafting got an update for sure. I feel like that's going to be one of the biggest. So I think power level for most everything is rising with this patch. They said buffs across the board for all classes. I think it's accurate in a sense because of things like the crafting updates, and then also there's something else that kept bringing up. And I'm drawing a blank. There's some other things. I'll think of them. Oh yeah, support gems being socketable multiple times, and then lineage supports. Ow, damn, this dude slapped me in the face. He just keeps slapping me in the face. I have a shield, come on. The only thing I'm seriously worried about in the teaser when they showed is Sanctification, the item level turned from 84 to 93. Wow, what? Which thing is Sanctification? The new meta crafting they added. So is it when you toss the item in for Abyssal and it comes back with a mod? Is that what Sanctification is? I'm just not really remembering the term, I guess. I don't think we need to be buffed really, but a couple of Ascendancies probably are. Jan, you must be way better at me than this in this game, honestly. Because I could use some buffs. My O2 sucked. I don't want that again. Not the whole O2, just the very beginning. And I'm out of flask, guys. Most are not, though. Yeah, the Ascendancies in particular. I feel like, honestly, Warbringer looks really... I think the changes there look really good as far as the Ascendancies that have changed. I'm not playing Deadeye, no. I know that's like the hot ticket item. I usually don't go for like the very hot ticket thing. However, I did play Lightning Spear and Bleed. I just didn't do it on any of the meta classes. I did it on Ritualist, Tactician, and on Infernalist. And Smith of Katava on Hardcore Solo Self-Found. Warbringer. Man, Warbringer looks cool, though. Like, I think that it's going to be pretty strong. The defensives is what I'm really excited about. And Warbringer with Jade, encased in Jade, plus Shield, plus being able to move right into the Mercenary and go Armor, Evasion, Split, and get the deflection as well. And then if you buff totems, like you're just a tanky boy laying down totems, really. That's kind of how I like to play games, being tanky and having one button. Maybe two. Maybe I should go Warbringer. I think I just convinced myself. Omen of Sanctification. Your next divine orb used on a rare item will sanctify it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, minute 58 of the teaser reveal. Thank you for looking at that. Yeah, there's some hidden there in the reveal that I have watched the reveal 3 times, I think, and did a lot of pausing and everything, but there's still stuff in there. But again, I feel like I'm just ready for Friday. Just bring it on. I'm kind of tired of rewatching the reveal and hovering over Reddit. I will probably play Sork or Witch Hunter. Interesting. Interesting, yes. The elemental stuff seems extremely strong this patch. Like it really does not seem like a good time to go bleed. Elemental is probably going to be the flavor. And then, holy shit, these guys are going to kill me. Witch Hunter with the 100 set points. Somebody's going to break that for sure. I think multiple people are going to break it in different ways, which will be fun to watch. Pesco, low life tech is for overkill damage, I think. Interesting. And Syra, Poison and Elemental Pew Pew are going to be strong for sure. Probably wouldn't play Sork in HC though, yeah. Oh shit. Here we are.
You are relentless.
Pesco, welcome to chat.
Unpredictable. The time of the Faradin is nigh.
I love this boss for Spearfield. Oh shit. He's kind of hard to read. I don't know about you guys. That one right there, I don't like getting caught by that. I do have movement abilities, but I feel like I've got too much shit going on. I can't even think about it. Damn it, I'm in fire. you doing? Alright. Go for some bleed here. Shit! Well, that didn't work out too well. That was close. That was close, guys. I feel like I ninja'd the shit out of that right there. Ah. I did not look at my fire. I'm running out of flask and he's only at half. Come on. Shit, I'm in the fire. Oh, you got get me out of there. This is bad. Come on. I've never died to this guy. Oof. Okay, I am really almost out of flask here. Come on. Damn. All right, we did it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing this. I don't know if I'm going spear, honestly. Yay. I gotta go get the other thing. Let's catch up on chat real quick. Thinking, Piso, welcome to Twitch. Thinking Icebow, Dead Eye, and HC Trade. Try out new merchant. Nice. That sounds fun. It looks cool, too. Yeah, Deuce Hammer. Thanks, JF. I just try to stand on his side since he never falls that way. Damn, I've been doing it wrong this whole time then. Because I usually go right behind him and then he always falls that way. So yeah, that makes sense. Damn it. Thanks for the tip. Okay. I gotta pick up the resist here. But yeah, single target damage is looking pretty bad. Like real estate, it's all about location, location, location. Nice. Yeah, true. I like to say position is everything, basically. I learned that the hard way in my hardcore days. You start to really understand when you're in good position versus being out of position, and almost without fail, you die by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unless you just, you know, there's some other ways to die, of course, but a lot of times it boils down to just that. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please do drop a like in YouTube. It does help me with the algorithm. It's just an easy way to support the channel. I'm going to keep going. I am enjoying being on stream with you guys all the time and hanging out and just playing the game. But I am trying to get better at my actual content creation on the long form videos, trying to be more helpful with the community. But it'll be a learning process. Just like everything else. I'm actually working on a new player guide, but it's been taking me forever. I didn't realize how hard that would be, and I didn't realize just how anal I would be about that. Usually with videos, I do tend to get them out because I end up getting tired of editing and stuff, but with this one on a new player guide, it's like, it has to be extremely good for me because I'm not gonna steer new players the wrong direction, I guess. And it needs to be helpful, succinct, and everything. And it's just been taking me forever. I've literally been working on it for a month. And then, of course, I was thinking, yeah, GGG is not going to like totally change the game in this patch. It just went to this cadence. They were on mercenaries. It's been so quiet. I didn't have any faith that they were going to drop something like they did. And then I've got to go and change a shit ton of stuff now, so. Which I'm fine with. I'm glad that's the way it went down, honestly. Sunder nerfed. Feel bad for the warrior enjoyers. Infernal Cry nerfed. Overall, if you're like all in on warrior, all in on two-handed mace, and you're trying to do armor as much as possible, and you don't like evasion, like you're a pure warrior, yeah, sucks. That kind of sucks. What the hell is this place, man? I'm low on flask. Shit. We got one of them dangerous sass dudes. And I'm really low on flask. I didn't get any flask for that, really. Was that just a white normal mob? Brutal. Still use Warcry on Warbringer, but not on Titan or Smith or Gatava for sure. Yes, man, I'm really big on Smith and Gatava for hardcore. But I haven't really been thinking about it as an option for my league start. Just, I don't know why. I guess it's just too defensive and not flashy enough for league start for me or something. I don't know. Great. I might need it. I'm gonna have to go back if I survive here. I need flask. Jeez. Okay. I'm thinking the new act will suit you well since the monsters will probably be themed and might do mostly one type of damage per island, so you can pump up the one you need if you're not maxed out. Nice. That's pretty nice for campaign when you're still trying to figure out your resistances. Because I don't know where the hell this place is. I'm doing the full circle thing again. Maybe, yeah, that looks like it. Good. Yeah, super excited for the new act. With all the league start ideas and theory crafting that's going on, I really haven't thought about the new act in a while. The fact that we're going to get one. With the preludes, or the interludes, I guess, not the preludes. Damn, they obliterated my totem. Yeah, I mean, I've never had this hard of a time, maybe in O2 League start, but in recent memory. I guess, you know, it is kind of hard to reset your brain when you've been going through campaign and you have a stash and everything. It is kind of jarring to go back to the League start situation. Looking forward to interludes. Yeah, me too. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, I was going to bring this up one last time for everybody. So let's share the screen. But for anybody who joined to kind of figure out what I was cooking up for Witch Hunter, we'll look at the POB real quick. I'll share it in a second. Just need to pull it up. All right. So Witch Hunter gets 100 extra set points. I've got a setup right now with a crossbow and then a spear. This is gear from my HCSSF character that was just getting into T15, so nothing special here. We go into skills. Let's activate armor piercing rounds. Okay. And then in the tree, this is our default. So with the if you're unfamiliar with the set points, or you need a default travel tree essentially, especially for jewels. So you cannot use jewels in your weapon set trees. Has to be in your default. One way around this apparently is just not putting a jewel in your socket, but jewels are pretty strong. I don't know if you'd want to do that. But for our travel, we're taking a right turn over towards the Huntress area. We're picking up some physical damage, some armor break, some giant slayer, some crit, and then some skill speed and some movement speed, dexterity, evasion. And we get our 4 jewels, or our jewel sockets. So then let's move on to the X-bow or the crossbow set here. This is where I'm using currently armor piercing rounds and voltaic grenade. Eventually we get access to armor break via Bloodhound's Mark. So we would then drop armor piercing rounds, and it'd mainly be for voltaic grenade. But essentially picking up a bunch of magnitude for shock. And we travel all the way here for magnitude of shock, and this is actually giving us 50% magnitude of shock currently. So we'd be opening up and getting that plus the armor break for more buff to our bleed, and then as the Witch Hunter, concentration to, again, just buff bleed as much as possible, trying to scale when we're missing things like Infernal Cry. And then for skills, we do have War Banner on this one. That's interesting due to the glory change, but I've included it here as again, a means to try to buff that rake. So then let's look at the spear side. I've just got rubies with magnitude to bleeding currently for the sockets. If we go to rake, let's see here. Everything online. We don't have our banner planted. So 1,000,000 bleed rake with basic gear in the end game here, which is actually pretty good. That's going to get you into pinnacle content. So we're able to scale, I think. And this is minus any of the new stuff. So if there's something new that helps us, that's even better. But let's look at the tree real quick. So as you can see, it's just basically picking up the magnitude stuff that we're all used to. The one issue here right now is I don't have much crit chance. So that's something we'd have to shore up with our support gems and stuff like that. And again, this is just an idea. But weapon set is used to apply the debuffs and buff your coming rake. And you go in for the big rake. And then Blood Hunt to finish off, probably used more as a finisher. I didn't really play around with culling, judge, jury, or anything. I opted for the concentration. And then because I only have 2 other Ascendancy nodes, I went over here for Zealous Inquisition because these 2 you really want, I think, to get to the 4th. You want to go all the way up this tree if you're going to do it, and you want to go all the way up this tree if you're going to do it, and we can't because we need Weapon Master, and I want concentration, so I went with Zealous Inquisition. So that is overall the idea currently, just kind of cooking with the Witch Hunter, but it's definitely not set for me, not set in stone whatsoever, and plenty to change, so it's all a bunch of Theorycraft. Let's catch up on chat real quick. Hard to debate for a league, especially right now for O2. It was easier because of Lightning Spear. Yeah, Lightning Spear was awesome. Syra says, good luck with Bleed. Just hope the new support changes will help out. Without some uniques, I don't see how it can overcome the loss. Yeah, I definitely feel you. I do feel like Bleed is in a bad spot right now and that we're going to need to see something. But I like the I like the Mercenary because I feel like it's an open book that you can morph along your league start and you don't really have to go all in on something. So I will be taking another look at this on the pathing for the default tree, doing something that's really malleable, you know, as we level. That way I can pivot. Jan, I would think you'd never want to travel that much with all the new nodes being added. Yeah, that's true too. We don't really know what the new nodes are going to bring. So this is just kind of a pathway. You could cut it short, of course. We could cut it all the way back here. Whoops. And that opens up a lot as long as we can pick up the crit. And then for the evasion stuff, there's plenty over here. We can just pick it up right here, right here. So we don't really have to go over there. And then, yeah, considering there's a bunch of new passives, I don't think neither traveling will be much a necessity. And then Jan, the Rex are lowered too, so you probably, yeah, exactly. This point for proficiency. Attribute requirements for your weapons are going down, so nodes like this are probably not needed anymore. With a weapon swap, I was kind of thinking it might be nice to pick up some dexterity. And for the crossbow tree, we end up traveling this way anyways. Syra, jewel traveling, though, will still be needed probably, yeah. So anyways, guys, I had a great night tonight. Thank you for joining. It was nice to see some familiar names. I will be back on tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're going pretty hard for league start, so I do hope to see you. And again, keep letting me know what you're planning for your league start and how that works out for you. Have a good night and good morning.